We are on Hangout Live.
How about that?
How about that? Only something. Only took us 39 minutes to figure this out.
Good morning, everybody.
A lot of playing around, though.
Yeah, I know. Good morning. David Patterson from everybody from Atlanta.
And I am Nanette Turner, and I am in Lynchburg, Virginia. We're here today talking about our mastermind tomorrow, which looks backwards to you guys, but it's Leadership Gold by John Maxwell. David and I are going to, well, it's mostly David, going to do a mastermind on this book.
9 years in the making, right?
This morning I was brushing my teeth. I mean, that's what you think about when you're getting ready. And I'm thinking, I remember, who would have thunk, right?
Right.
Because I remember you were doing the breakout session for lead generation online with Clint.
Yep.
And I remember you telling me that you were scared to do that.
Yep.
And you were really nervous, and you didn't think you had anything to offer.
9 years later, I still somewhat feel that way at times. Yeah.
You said, I can't do this. I don't know how to do this. And I said, just go do it. You got picked, and that was it. And you and Clint did a bang up job. That was one of the feedbacks I remember getting most about. That was one of the favorites that everybody enjoyed, is getting how to get leads online. And who would have known? David, I started out, if you remember, if you were connected online back in 2002, 3, 4, when we first started getting online as a real estate industry, we were blogging and we connected that way, right?
Yep.
And then there was Active Rain.
Absolutely.
Which became, and in the middle of that was RENet.
Right.
We were both of us were a part of RENet, and that's how we met.
Yep.
Before we met. We met online. Everybody met online. And it was the rain camps, the rain parties, Active Rain parties, and RE bar camps that really connected all these bloggers.
Absolutely.
To actually see each other face to face.
Yep.
And that was how we did Lynchburg RE bar camp, which I would say was one of the best RE bar camps ever.
Yes. I would argue that in a lot of ways, Lynchburg was ground zero for a lot of people's career. I think about Jovan Hackley. I think about Daniel, the real estate zebra. There was a lot of controversy about that during the time. So Daniel, if you're seeing that, I'm sure you've covered a lot of ground since then. It's been an interesting journey, but we can look at that picture. We pull that picture up and look at all the individuals that were there and what they're doing now, still using a lot of technology and growing themselves. And so in a lot of ways, Leadership Gold has a lot to do with the things that we had to do as individuals to get ourselves to where we are now.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So the first chapter of Leadership Gold, bringing in this all of us old timers, not to be nostalgic about that, but if it's lonely at the top, you're not doing something right. I remember blogging and thinking I'm the only one out here, nobody's reading my stuff. And then when we connected and we found there were other people out there connecting with us and doing that stuff, that was how it all started. And so the beginning is true. If you are lonely at the top, then you're not doing something right. I believe in bringing people with me. I don't want to be by myself. I'm not a lonely person.
And I think one of the things that highlights that, there's a line in the prelude to getting into the book that says leadership will make a difference in you and you will make a difference in the lives of others. And so I know that when we focused on leading ourselves towards the vision that we have, not only have we improved as people, along the way, we've helped people towards where they want to be. And that's what excites me. And that's what I'm excited about, having the opportunity to partner with John Maxwell, Paul Martinelli, Mark Cole, individuals in the John Maxwell team, to really begin to add value to individuals in a more intentional way. I think in a lot of ways for me, I was kind of randomizing myself in terms of adding value here and adding value here, but not really having a direction of where I wanted to go. And luckily, through John Maxwell and his teachings and me reading and being involved and having access to Dr. Maxwell, it's really helped me take all of those ambitions and all of that lack of focus and say, David, here's one voice, listen to this voice, stay in the material, deliver the material, get good at what you're doing, and be intentional about what it is you want to do. And that, in a lot of ways, is leadership gold. And so our desire is to help leaders, not just in Virginia, but all of those that we have an opportunity to come into contact with, understand, first and foremost, you should be focused on leading yourself. And then number two, leading the individuals that are around you. So if you're lonely at the top, like you said, then you're not leading, you're not doing something correctly. And hopefully through the teachings that we're going to go through over the next 9 sessions, that's going to help people become better leaders.
Mm-hmm. One of the questions is, and it's consistent in this book, is what's the big dream?
Yeah.
You know, you're just thinking about right here.
Yeah.
You know, you're missing out on so much.
Absolutely.
How many times I've had a conversation with you, you know, and I walk away 15 minutes later thinking, that's all I can handle. You just blew my flipping mind, you know. So, you know, because all by myself, I couldn't have come up with that bigger spot, that bigger part.
Right.
And consistently, you and others, you know, say, well, then take it here. How about go a little bit more? And the only way, if I can succeed, as it says in here, if I can succeed all by myself, my dream ain't big enough.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I find that a lot of our, at least in the past, a lot of our measurements around success has a lot of ego in it. And because of that, it's all about I, and those goals are easy to achieve because the fact that they're not big enough. So you're exactly right about that. The thing about bigger goals and having other people involved is it's very important that we align ourselves with the right people. So the first thing that we've got to do is understand who we are at our core and understanding where it is that we want to go, because one of the other books that John Maxwell has written is called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And in there, it talks about the law of magnetism. And so if we are not being the people that we want to be and attract, then it's going to be very hard for us to align with the individuals that's going to help us get to our goal. And so we've got to be really cognizant of understanding who we are, what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, where we want to be, what we have to improve, and understanding that leadership sets the table for everything, and leadership starts with leading ourselves.
Yeah. You know, what you're good at, what you're not good at.
Absolutely. You know? I think we spend too much time working on things that are not our natural gifts. We have weaknesses sometimes that are just not in our comfort zone, that are just not something that we were gifted to do. And we get a lot of bad programming, whether it be, I love my parents, some great programming I received. Even my mother will tell you there's some programming that I didn't get, or some programming that I need to change. We got programming in formal education that kind of hindered us as entrepreneurs because we're supposed to go to work for 30 years and get the gold watch. And there's a lot of fears that come from that programming. So we have to do so much unprogramming or deprogramming and reprogramming to get where it is that we want to be. And that requires being around people that are willing to push us and challenge us, but they're also growing themselves. It's really easy to call plays from the sidelines versus being involved in the process and really getting in the trenches with us and moving forward, all of us together to get where it is we want to be. And so I think that goes back once again to Lynchburg. Not knowing who we were as people 9 years ago to be where we are now, to be able to come back and really see that growth and really have more wisdom about where it is that we're going, that's such a powerful thing, because there's a lot of people that didn't make the journey with us. And so we've been through a lot, either each one of us. And so we're stronger for it. We're better for it. We've got scars to show for it. The bottom line, we're here, right? And so now we can actually pour into others because we have a responsibility. Too much is given, much is required. And so I'm excited to be able to be one of those individuals to do that.
I like that. I really like that, you know. And one of my favorite chapters in here is if you're out in front, if you're getting kicked in the rear, then you're out in front.
Absolutely.
So embrace those moments when your butt's getting kicked.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of people are not willing to be out front. It's real easy to throw daggers at the leader. It really is. And so, you know, there are people that come to this world that are natural born leaders. Yes, there's also nurturing that needs to be done to help them be better. And yet there's other individuals that might feel like that they are not natural born leaders and they can be leaders too. And this book, Leadership Gold, can help you become the best leader that you possibly can be.
And what has happened, you know, to me, if I recall, it was when I first got a website in 2002, people were saying that you're crazy to get a website and how are you doing that? And then my first year, I got 22 properties listed and sold as a direct result of internet leads. And the second year was 56. But it was the third year that they said, oh, maybe you're right, you know? And so getting my butt kicked, you know, back then, I didn't pay attention to it. I was too young. And I was having fun. I didn't know it was, you know, and I didn't know I didn't know anything about a bad habit. We were just winging it.
Oh, man. That's a whole video in itself. The habits we form that we sometimes we don't even realize we're forming them. Mm-hmm. We have to have one of the things I call it with my coaching clients are defaults. They're just defaults that naturally just pop up. There's something that happens and there's an instinctive reaction to it that we have allowed to become a routine for us. And so I heard once that we need to not let our reaction be our response. A lot of that's around actually how we communicate with people, but sometimes we got to be cognizant of how we communicate to ourselves. We got to guard our self-talk. We've got to guard those reactions that are not necessarily healthy for ourselves and for other individuals. And we have to be cognizant of the things that we can do to break those habits to grow. That's all in leading ourselves and becoming better people.
Well, human nature, we're much better at assessing other people than we are ourselves.
Oh, God. Yeah, absolutely. It's easy.
I got you wrapped up. I know exactly what your potential is. You know, I see it, you know, but I don't know if I could actually do everything I want to do, you know?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And we need to feed off each other to do that. And so I really think that finding the people that allow you to have that real special connection, that we can feed off each other, and I believe that you will succeed. And you have this idea that I will as well.
There are people that believe in you more than sometimes you believe in yourself. But we got a visitor, do we not?
No. Okay. I'm live right now, so no.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say when you do your class, if you want to cast up here, I was going to show you how to do it.
We can do that tomorrow.
Oh, that's tomorrow. Okay.
I'm just talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Carol, come say hello. Now you're in. Carol, this is David Patterson.
Hi, Carol.
How are you doing?
Good. Are you joining us tomorrow?
No, I'm teaching a class. We're doing New Agent Boot Camp.
Oh, okay, great.
I'm actually teaching class right now, but I have a guest speaker right now, so I snuck out for a minute to make sure Nanette had what she needed.
Very nice. Multitasking. I like it.
All right, but maybe next time.
No, there is no multitasking. There is one thing. One thing. You know that.
There's a video for that too.
But you might come back in one of our sessions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But tomorrow I'm teaching, so
okay.
That's my one thing.
Okay.
Oh, good to meet you.
Bye.
Absolutely.
Right. If you need to know how to do that, let me know.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, catch me this afternoon because I'm teaching tomorrow.
Okay. All right, tomorrow. All right. So
that's what happens with live TV.
Yeah, that was real live there. All right. Yeah, we're harder on ourselves, you know, than everybody. We learn. I think as when you talk about ego, you know, as a leader, we got to learn to be followers,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's where you get out of that ego and you're willing to, you know, not be the center of attention. I don't have to be the one that does this, you know, as long as it's done. I don't
Absolutely.
care.
Absolutely.
You know?
There is a lesson. I think it might have been the same lesson that you were talking about, is when you get kicked in the rear. It's really important for us to learn how to be good followers. I know I've been in situations where I have not been in leadership and I had to follow leadership, and it taught me the good, the bad, and the ugly of leadership, and understanding the things that I would like to do to be a better leader. So it's just like a lot of people are givers, right? And what they don't understand is, to be a great giver, you have to be a good receiver. Because if you continue to pour out and pour out and pour out and pour out, in the end, you don't have anything else to give. So it's okay to receive. And once again, that bad programming, it's better to give than receive. There should be balancing involved with that. So I think one of the things I'd like to do as we go through the lessons that we have over the 9 sessions is really challenge some of the programming that we have, because we have all these cliches that have embedded and rooted in our being, such as better safe than sorry. There's a lot of people that don't run a business, that don't pursue their dreams, because it's better to be safe than sorry. And we've had this embedded in our head for decades.
Right. And if you don't follow your passion, then you'll never know who you are.
Yeah.
You know, and you'll go laying on your deathbed wondering, what, you know, who am I?
Yeah.
And if I don't know who I am, you don't really get to know me either.
Right.
And if you don't really know me, then I really am all by myself, and I'm, you know, laying here on my deathbed, and I haven't fulfilled my purpose. And there's so many people that I've talked to that are working that 9-to-5 job because, you know, it's safe, and they need to be doing something else about their passion for life.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
So
I'm excited for tomorrow.
I'm excited about tomorrow, and I will shoot this video out so everybody can hear us talk if they want to get to know each other. But we're real excited, and we hope everybody tunes in at 12 o'clock tomorrow, which is March 21st. We're going to be reviewing this book, Leadership Gold.
Yay.
Yay.
Excited about it. Nanette, thank you again so much. Number one, for being my friend, for joining me on this journey, and to always be someone I know that supports where it is that I'm going. And I really appreciate all the conversations that we've had. And who knew that we would still be in this type of relationship, helping each other over the last 9 years. So thank you so much. I'll never be able to tell you how much I appreciate you. Well,
I believe that this mastermind is just the beginning of, you know, we all have those moments. We don't always realize those moments. And you didn't realize, nor did I realize, that 9 years ago, that was a moment.
I know. It's crazy. Crazy.
And we walk around not knowing that these moments are there. We need to be more aware of what we're doing and how we're doing it, so we can capture those moments and just expound upon them. And I think this is another one of those.
Absolutely. Good. So until tomorrow.
All right. Have a great day.
Take care.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Bye.